they plan to make history here this evening.
What's up, everybody? Week 10. We're gonna try that. Fuck
Week
it.
10.
Can't get a pick right. Might as well get the weeks right or wrong too. Last week, whatever
Is over.
Yeah, is over. Good Missouri victory. Sat there and watched that. I'm over. Red Sox won.
He texted me during Game 6, like in the 7th inning, and said, "I'm over it. Fuck it. I'm done."
Yeah. Go Blues.
Yeah, Blues are on tonight.
Get some flexibility. Yeah, I got my blue slippers on. They play tonight.
That's quality TV right there.
Yeah. But as usual, before we get started on the ones we disagree on, here's the ones we agree on.
And that's it.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. Not very many. If there were ever a 500 week in our future coming, it's probably this week for both of us. But we disagree on a lot of these. We're going to try and fly through them and keep this video short. First one is tonight's game, which I don't even know if you're going to be able to see this before tonight. You have the Vikings hosting the Redskins. The Vikings coming off that very impressive loss for a Vikings team against Dallas. I'm going to go ahead and take the Vikings at home. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. Christian Ponder, believe it or not, I think is the leading rusher of quarterbacks. And it doesn't sound right, but it's the truth. And with him and Adrian Peterson, they might not have to throw the ball. So go ahead and give me the Vikings plus 2.5 at home.
Yeah, I'm taking Washington here. I was really impressed with the way they came back against San Diego last week. San Diego really should have won that game, but I like that the way Washington's heading right now. RG3's playing well. Morris stepped up last week and finally had a good game. Outside of Peterson, I just don't see a lot out of the Minnesota offense. That even as bad as Washington's defense is, I think they should be able to win this game with no problem.
What about their Pro Bowl wideout Greg Jennings?
Oh yeah, yeah, he's having a great year, isn't he? Next game, we've got Jacksonville going on the road to Tennessee. Jacksonville is a 12-point dog in this game. I look at Tennessee and I look at last week against Zach Stacy and the Rams. Stacy had a really good game running the ball, and I look at Jacksonville and say, well, without Blackman now for the year, you've got to think maybe Maurice Jones-Drew tries to maybe finally have a really good game here. I just don't see it happening if he does. I'm taking Tennessee at home against Jacksonville.
Yeah, the Titans won last week against the Rams. That was actually a game they probably should have lost, to be honest with you. We get to watch every St. Louis game, so. But Jaguars, even without Blackman, I think they're going to be able to hold it within 12. I'm getting really sick of these big spreads not covering anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the Jaguars plus 12. The Jaguars are always going to see these big spreads for the rest of the year. Kind of like our suicide bear pick coming up here. I don't think Jacksonville's going to win a game again, but just go ahead and give me them to cover 12. Just because it's a big spread. And I'm sick of seeing those not covered. So, next up, the ones we didn't disagree on, we have the Packers and the Eagles. The Packers without Aaron Rodgers, I think are going to struggle for the next couple of weeks. Eagles coming off that just kick-ass fuck you to the Raiders. And you want to know how that happened? Here's how it happened. We had a nice little parlay going. And a 10-point teaser. We 10-point teased the Raiders to a +8 last week, even though I think they were favored by 2. That's how you get like a 55-3 blowout. That's how you do it, because we just needed them to hit, and we had won. But fuck that. That's a whole different story. But go ahead and give me the Eagles. I really think with Foles, it looks like he is the quarterback that Chip Kelly wants, and I think he's going to be able to move the ball. The Packers, I think, are going to struggle a little bit. Lacey Still is a good running back, but I think Seneca Wallace is going to struggle. So, give me the Eagles.
I'm worried about Rodgers not playing in this game. But then I thought back and said, you know what? Even without Rodgers, they still only lost 24-20 to Chicago, which is a good team. It was without Cutler. But, and I still worry about Philadelphia. Which team's going to show up?
Yeah.
Is this a team that lost to Cowboys 17-3 at home? Granted, that might have been with Barkley. I'm not even positive. But Foles, yeah, he looked great last week. he's got to prove me wrong and do it 2 weeks in a row. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with Green Bay. I think they can control the ball. You don't have to put all the pressure on Wallace. You've got Lacey. You've got Starks. They've shown the ability to run the ball, especially against Philadelphia defense. So I'm taking Green Bay here to cover. Next, you've got the Buffalo Bills going on the road to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's favored by 3.
We agree.
Oh, yeah, we agree on that one. Never mind. Well, don't we want to talk about it? Might as well talk about them all. There's only fucking 3 or 4 we're not talking
I
about.
gotta edit these tonight.
All right. You've got Oakland going on the road to the New York Giants. After watching what happened to Philadelphia, it's easy to have a knee-jerk reaction. Go, God, that team sucks. It was a 1 game, but I look. Pryor's questionable for this game. If he doesn't play, Giants coming off a bye week, they look good. The last 2 games they played before the bye week, it looks like maybe they've got a little chemistry going now. So I'm taking the Giants at home to win this game and cover 7.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Raiders. I'm not afraid that they lost by 1,000 points last week. I think it actually helps them not having Darren McFadden ready to go. Fuck him. He fucked my fantasy team. They fucked a 10-point teaser. Fuck the Raiders. The Giants are, even if they've had a couple of good games, I still am afraid. I've seen what they've done all season, and as a combined whole, I just don't think they're 7.5 points better than the Raiders. So go ahead and give me the Raiders to cover the 7.5 at the Giants. Next up, we have our St. Louis Rams traveling to Indianapolis. This is a 9.5 point spread. On the road, I am very fearful of what could happen to our St. Louis Rams. The Texans actually had a game that's probably a game the Texans probably should have won last week against Indianapolis. And I mean, they could have had a chance to tie it. And didn't their kicker miss like 2 last week?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what their backup quarterback in for the Texans. The Rams have a backup quarterback, but he's not as good as Case Keenum. And, we still have receivers that can't catch the ball. All of a sudden, our kicker's starting to miss field goals, which if he's starting to miss field goals, we're fucked. Zach Stacy is a guy that has just played out of his mind. I mean, I'm like, holy shit, we actually have a running back. But I think that's something that the Colts are going to be able to kind of pinpoint on and make fucking, what the fuck is his name? Kellen Clemens. They're going to make him win the game, which he cannot do. Give me the Indianapolis Colts minus 9.5.
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
I'm taking St. Louis here. The one thing, Indianapolis should win this game, but I look at the last 2 games that the Rams played against Tennessee and against Seattle.
2 wins.
They should have won both those games. They really should have won both those games. I think if Bradford was in, we probably do. You still don't like Bradford.
Kellen Kimmelman at one point was moving the offense better than Bradford.
Kellen Kimmelman? He hosted on the late night show?
There were parts where he was moving the ball better than Bradford was, and they just couldn't finish. Or something stupid like Cunningham, who's a rookie guy, that's probably touched the ball.
Fumble with no one touched him,
yeah. He fumbled the ball, no one touched. I mean, it was stupid shit like that. But at home, though, and I still think he moved the ball better than St.
Yeah,
Bradford,
but
so.
you look at St. Louis, and the one thing I worry about their defense is the rush game. They're 28th against the run. Trent Richardson has not impressed me since he came over from Cleveland. It's been Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is carrying this team. But when I look at Indianapolis, they're winning. Outside of the San Francisco game, they won 27-7. They lost to San Diego, I believe. They, barely beat Houston. They lost at home to Miami. They've had a lot of close games and they've had a lot of comebacks. It doesn't seem like they've been able to put away a team. So for that reason, the fact that I like for the Rams defense to be able to get some pressure on Luck, I'm taking St. Louis to cover 9.5 here. The next game we've got is the Detroit Lions going on the road to Chicago, and this is Pick'em. I'm taking Chicago. I like the way they looked last week. The fact that you've really got 3 quality receivers now in Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, and Martellus Bennett. Cutler's going to play. He's coming back, and I thought Forte looked really good. And if the defense can keep up, because that's what's really carried them for several years now, if that defense gets back to where it was, I like them at home against Detroit.
Yeah, the win against the Packers, I think, was a gift by the football gods by breaking what's his face.
Oh, there's no doubt that Rodgers getting hurt.
And I think that changed their game plan probably a little bit to help them win that game. But this week you got the Lions coming in with, man, if you think about it, they're almost pretty similar teams. If Reggie Bush is healthy, and he plays the way Reggie Bush can play when he's healthy, I really think Detroit just throws the ball all over the place. And, I mean, it's coming out of the backfield, and Megatron's just going to have another monster day. You know, there's no points here, so I'm just going to take Detroit on the road to win this one just because it's just like we said. Even last week with the win by Chicago, Chicago has not impressed me in any wins. Mm-hmm. And even, or any games at all, period. And like I said, that one last week, I just think it would have been a different game if Rodgers stays in the game and they're trying to play catch-up. And I really don't think, I just don't like Chicago. They just did not impress me at all this year. Ooh, what do we got next? Oh, the 49ers hosting the Panthers. A possible playoff previews. Niners, ever since the Rams game, were struggling going into that Rams game, and the Rams just got whatever monkey was on their back and said, fuck it. All of a sudden they're starting to play really good. 6.5 point spread. You got an East Coast, West Coast thing, and that's the only reason. I think the Panthers are just going to find it a little bit tougher going into San Francisco this week with a 49er team that seemed to have righted the ship over the last 4 or 5 weeks. So give me the 49ers minus 6.5.
Yeah, the scary part is that San Francisco's starting to get healthy. Yeah, you got Crabtree's going to be back here sometime soon. Alden Smith is back. He's supposed to play this week on defense. That's going to help the defense out. I'm taking Carolina here. I like the way they've been playing ever since that loss at Arizona, which they did absolutely terrible. At home against the Rams, they went to Tampa and won. I don't know if they had another game besides that. But the offense is starting to click. You got Jonathan Stewart, I think, is coming back at running back. That's going to help out. But I like the way the defense is playing. That front seven of Carolina is young and it's good. Similar to a young 49ers defense a year or two ago. So I like Carolina to go to San Francisco and keep this a close game. Expect San Francisco to win probably by 3, but I like Carolina to cover here. Next game we got the Houston Texans going on the road to Arizona. Arizona's favored by 2.5. I like the way Case Keenum looked.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, he actually got Andre Johnson involved in a game. I mean, thank God, because I had him in one of my fantasy teams, and if I didn't have that, I would have lost. But that, the question mark is Foster is banged up. Tate has a rib injury, but he's supposed to play. I expect this to be a good game. I could see Arizona winning like 21-20, but I'm taking Houston to cover 2.5 here at Arizona, who's coming off a bye week, but I still like Houston.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of, what's that new guy, Andre Ellington? Yeah, I think they said last week. He's actually had a couple good games in a row, and he's not even really touched the ball. He wasn't involved in the offense like 2 weeks ago, hardly at all. You're going to see a lot of him, and just with the Cardinals being at home, you get 3 points right there, right? Normally, don't the home team normally get 3 points? Mm-hmm. Cardinals are 2.5 point favorites at home. I don't think that the Texans are that much better than the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, if anything, they're the same team on paper, I think, at home. So by that point right there, I'm just going to go ahead and take the Cardinals at home over the Texans. Other than no reason, then I just think they're the same team, and I'm going to give the home teams 3 points. So, and second to last, we got the Broncos and the Chargers. The Broncos coming off their bye week. Peyton Manning another week healthier, hopefully. The Chargers coming off who they played, Washington Redskins, and kind of found themselves in a tight game. Yeah, and I just look for the Broncos just to start it again. I mean, they've had that extra week off, and everybody's gotten a week healthier. And I think this is one of those games when you're playing an opponent in your own conference that you just want to say, hey, look, this is where we're at.
They're playing for their coach too.
Which one?
Oh,
that's right.
John Fox.
Yeah. Well, you had a coach that had a stroke.
Jack Del Rio's coach.
Yeah. What did John Fox happen? He had a
John Fox
heart
was
valve.
playing golf and
he had the heart valve, and then Kubiak had the mini stroke.
Yeah,
Right.
all the coaches are
Coaching's
dying.
dangerous. It's like crab fishing. It's one of the most dangerous fucking jobs in the world.
Greatest job.
But just give me the Broncos. I'm not going to go against Peyton Manning, even though I did go with him and he cost me a couple games a couple weeks ago.
You think Manning's going to have a really good game?
I do.
Yeah, because you're going against him in fantasy football, fucker.
Go, Brian. You need to win that one, buddy.
Suck Manning right now.
Number one big black pussy right here. Going to take
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna wreck that pussy.
Do it.
Uh-oh.
I'm taking San Diego here. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Denver. I like the way they're playing. I like their offense. Something about San Diego at home. I just like them. Rivers, Gates. I think
Keenan Allen.
with an interdivisional game like this, I like San Diego at home. So I'm taking San Diego to cover here. Last game we've got the Miami Dolphins going on the road to Tampa. Tampa is a dog by 3 points. I don't know what to say about this game. It's not a great game.
Dolphins are coming off a good come from behind win. Wait, did they come from behind?
Well, they beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, who
At home.
Andy Dalton had like the worst game probably of his career.
Yeah, but Miami's obviously everyone knows in the news because of the situation in the locker room, but that's still 40% of your offensive line is out. Tampa Bay, Glennon has actually looked good the last two games. He started out, I think we had 2 or 3 touchdowns against Seattle. No interceptions. He's playing well. I like him and Vincent Jackson to hook up in this game, and I like Tampa to not only cover 3. I like them to beat Miami. There's something to be said when a team has this much disarray and there's that much disconnect in the locker room on who's saying what and who can trust who. I like Tampa to get their first win of the year here. So I'm taking Tampa Bay.
No, they will not get their first win. Because I'm taking the Dolphins. I think all this turmoil and thing, it actually I think is going to bring the Dolphins together. When you have the national media and spotlight focusing in on you, you're going to get that mentality of us against the world. People are looking at the Dolphins right now. And it's not just incognito. I mean, I think this is going to be a point to where it's going to be a whole internal Dolphins clubhouse problem before it's all said and done. So I really think even like you got Heartline right now, you could just see the shell coming on them. It's like, we're not going to talk about this anymore. Let whoever decide this. So I'm going to look for them to kind of bring it in and just fight off a Tampa team that's not very good. Even though, like, in Seattle, who could have saw that? I mean, 21 to freaking nothing at one point in Seattle, Tampa. I mean, if you tell me the guy that said that, and I'm going to, stroke him off or something like that for more tips or something.
Whoa, I would never do that.
Well, that's because there is nobody that said that. That's a fictional human. That's a Pegasus, man.
I don't know. I hope someone writes in and says I said that, because then you owe them a job.
Well, hopefully it's a chick.
I think Schiano is going to, in the words of Richie Incognito, he's going to rip Miami's fucking head off and shit down their throat.
See, I have not heard anything
Sorry,
because I still can't watch SportsCenter in case they still talk about the World Series.
Oh,
I have not watched Pardon the Interruption. I haven't watched the little ding show where the
little ding
the one
show.
where they ding you and give you points. The
sounds
round the horn. I haven't watched
kinda
SportsCenter for
perverted.
2 weeks. I have watched Inside the NFL because I know they're not going to talk about football or baseball,
But he's seen Magic Mike like 12 times now.
well, I wonder when that's going to get old.
Yeah, I'm not worried about big dings. It's just those little dings I'm worried about.
All right, that's all we got. Before we get out of here, we got a suicide pick of the week to do. We are still in our suicide pool, which I forgot to tell you, they're actually having a mid-season pool, and you have to pick 2 every week from here on out. But we're still in our one. The Cowboys gave us a scare last week, or is it did the Cowboys give us a scare or the Vikings give us a scare? I don't know, but we got out of it. This week we're taking the... You're not going to say it? Oh, we got to pull a graphic going. And
I know.
usually you say it.
Oh, well, you said it before,
Like,
too.
how about them Titans?
No, that was Cowboys.
We're taking the Tennessee Titans this week.
We're taking the double T's, the T's, the Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee. Actually, we just got done playing Tennessee.
Yeah, we played Tennessee Volunteers, Tennessee Titans.
It was all Tennessee weekend. And
It was.
They didn't bring their band.
Yeah, what's up with that? I should say on my college show. I've been to every SEC game at home from Missouri, and it's the first time a team came without a band. I think Vanderbilt brought their band.
I was even told him, I was like, dude, if I start singing the good old Rocky Top song, don't kick my ass.
Yeah, we didn't get to hear it. They only scored a field goal.
Well, they didn't bring a band anyway, didn't
Yeah, it's like the crowd. I thought the crowd would just break out into it, but
we? Maybe we should have started it.
But
They
didn't.
were down 20.
Yeah.
All right, that's all we got for week 10. I just smelled $500. And if we don't go 500, one of us is going to have a really good week. You decide.
You smell 500. Is that what you charge for a hand job?
What? All right, I'm going to go cook dinner.
What?
I got to cook dinner because
There's
I'm
no cook dinner.
I
You eat
I have to.
dinner.
No, I'm trying to lose some weight, so I'm quit eating out.
You can order a salad, fucker.
I can make a salad. Why order one?
You gonna grow lettuce?
I buy a lettuce from the store.
Well, then you're ordering it.
Fuck happened here? Where are you gonna go? Salad. You ever been to a store?
Yeah, I've been to the store.
Holy shit. Alright, that's all we got. See you guys.
Say yeah, peace out.